Alright, hello everyone and welcome. How's everyone doing today? It is Thursday, February 25th, 2016. I am Phil. I am here for a full-fledged day of new content for you. Today we're going to have two gameplay streams, including Far Cry Primal on the 1st. Later tonight I'll be doing The Walking Dead Michonne, Episode 1, which is about 90 minutes long from all reports that I've heard from people who've played it. And people are saying it's quite good, and I will probably like it as much as the previous Walking Dead games. That's good. In addition, I'm going to be doing the Loot Crate unboxing video for this month later tonight after I eat my dinner. So it's kind of like in-between stuff. Okay? In between my gameplay streams, I'll be doing that. So, tons and tons of new stuff today. Already, I'm being told there's tons of issues with streaming, which I apologize for. I wish that I knew what was going on. YouTube has not communicated anything to us who are streaming that there's an issue with their streaming services. However, for 3 straight days now, people have been having issues on my first stream with buffering. I've tried everything on my end to figure out what's going on with that, and I cannot really explain it. From what I can see here, there's no issue with my internet. In fact, my internet looks cleaner today than it has all week. There's not a lot of noise in the lines, if you know what I mean. Like, it's not a fluctuating frequency. And I see no report on the YouTube side that there's an issue with the connectivity to the stream itself. Oh. Okay, sorry. Leanna opened the door to tell me something. I don't know why she couldn't just say. she was pantomiming and lip syncing instead of saying what she was gonna say. There you go. There you go. So anyway, yeah, I don't know what's been going on with YouTube streaming lately, and some other people have also been saying it's not just YouTube streaming, it's YouTube videos in general have had a lot of buffering. And I agree, even I have experienced this. Earlier this week, I had just uploaded my Street Fighter V review on Monday, and I wanted to see how it looked on YouTube. Because, you know, I've been recording in 1080p, 60 frames per second, and I put a lot of time and effort into editing this video. I'm like, gee, I hope it looks good. So I start to play the video. It does look good. It looks great. It's like gorgeous 60 frames. And, yeah, and then it buffers and buffers and buffers and buffers and buffers, and I couldn't even get the video to finish because it buffered so much. So I think YouTube's doing something with bandwidth adjustments or something. Who knows, right? Who knows what they're doing? This week's been kind of a messy week for YouTube, but hey. What can you do? You push ahead, right? FYI, if you are having issues with the streaming, I've been saying this all week, I do record everything. I do direct capture of everything, and it all gets uploaded to DSPGaming following the live streams. So if you're trying to watch this live stream, and it is buffering, and it is choppy, and it is basically annoying, you can just, you know, chillax. Come back later today, a few hours after the stream ends, and then it will all be live on YouTube on demand, and hopefully it won't have those issues, okay? Alright, so let's talk a little bit, because this week's schedule is getting mixed up a tiny bit. As usual, I do this every week once I see how far I've gotten with everything, right? So let me get you all up to speed. Today will be the 3rd major streaming day of Far Cry Primal. That'll be 3.5 hours of gameplay here on this first stream. Later tonight will be The Walking Dead Michonne, as I said. FYI, I don't know how many of you have been paying attention to the schedule, but the schedule I released last night clearly stated that tonight's stream will start around 7:30 p.m. Pacific time, and I want to make that clear. Typically, if I do a second stream, it starts around 7-ish. I'm going to be starting 7:30 tonight, because number one, I want enough time to film and upload the Loot Crate unboxing, and number two, because it is a shorter episode anyway. If it's only 90 minutes, I don't need a ton of time, right, in order to play and complete that game, so I'm going to be starting a tiny bit later than usual. After tonight, this will conclude my marathon this week of double streams. Because all week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I've been doing double streams all day. I simply needed to do that in order to be able to play enough of the new games, right, before heading into a weekend and maybe getting stuck and not being as far along with a game as I would like. So that's why I've been doing that. Okay. Starting tomorrow, only one gameplay stream a day. So tomorrow, I'm going to be doing Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2 as my gameplay stream. And Leanna will be joining me. We're going to be doing co-op. And it's unclear whether or not we're going to be doing local split-screen co-op or if we're going to be doing over the internet. Because Leanna actually has been watching me play this game all week. And she says she really likes the look of the game. Like, she really thinks it's a cute game. She actually has Plants vs. Zombies on her mobile devices. And she says, you know what, I might want to get this for myself. And I said, well, hey, if you're going to get it for yourself, that would be cool, because then you could join me over the internet co-op. And, you know, what we'd have to do is just get her mic working on her PS4 or whatever. And then we could do both the campaign co-op, and we could do some of the kind of survival mode stuff that's in the game. There's like tower defense missions and stuff we could do together. And also, you know, if we wanted to play online in a party, we could do that too. So she might get the game today. I'm not sure. This is all up to her. I mean, this is her choice if she wants to get the game or not. Obviously, it's her money from her own, you know, her own business and everything. So I'm certainly not gonna force her or try to one way or the other convince her. But I don't know if she's gonna go get it today or not. Or she did. I mean, she could get it digitally too, but she only has the wireless internet on her PS4, so that could be kind of annoying if she was trying to do download an entire freaking game on it, you know. But I digress. Let us see what happens. Tomorrow she'll be joining me one way or another. One way or another. For Plants vs. Zombies. Might not be the whole session. We'll see. If it is the whole session or not that she'll join me for. We'll figure that out, I guess, once we get that started. Tomorrow night will be Hits of the Week. Hits of the Week where I'll be taking clips from Far Cry Primal, from Plants vs. Zombies, and from tonight's The Walking Dead Michonne, and doing some montage work with it. And hopefully it should be, you know, pretty entertaining for you. Last week I kind of did Hits of the Week. I did the best finishes in Street Fighter V of the week, which really was Hits of the Week when you think about it, because all I played last week was Street Fighter V. But anyway, you can check those series out, as well as game reviews, first impressions, all kinds of stuff over on KO Gaming. That's youtube.com/KO Gaming 1. So be sure to check that out. In addition to the Hits of the Week, I'll be putting up reviews of both Far Cry Primal and Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2, and possibly kind of a mini review or impressions of The Walking Dead Michonne, all coming up this week. Alright, so look for that over there. That's the kind of stuff I put up over there. And FYI, that Loot Crate unboxing that I've mentioned to you, will be going live on the King of Hate Vlogs, my vlogging channel. So, that's the plan for tomorrow. Only one gameplay stream, and then working on the Hits of the Week, okay? And then, this weekend, I'll probably have one major stream of Far Cry, maybe one major stream of Plants vs. Zombies, and then, what I'm thinking, I mean, it all depends. Well, I'll see how far I've gotten in the games by this weekend. I may do some Street Fighter this weekend, because I'm kind of disappointed that I did not get to play Street Fighter V on Monday, because the freaking servers were down for insanely extended maintenance. Servers will be down for 3 hours of maintenance, and then after an hour of it not being up when they promised, oh, servers are down for another extra hour of maintenance, and then another hour later, servers are down for another extra hour of maintenance, and then another hour later, servers are down indefinitely. Gee, thanks, Capcom. Thanks for letting us plan our schedules around what you told us, and then you lied. So anyway, yeah, I might do some Street Fighter coming up, either this weekend or early next week. One or the other. I haven't decided when I'm going to do it yet. I might just crave it so much that I want to play it this weekend regardless. We'll see. Okay? And then next week, I'll be balancing out the gameplay streams such as Far Cry with reviews. Because after I do the offline content, I think I'll have played Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2 enough to sufficiently review the game. What else is going on? Not too much. Not right now, anyway. Next week, really not much going on in the realm of new games besides The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD, which is coming out a week from tomorrow. And so I am very excited for that, because that is a Zelda game, once again, I missed out on. And I'll get to play it in full modernized visuals and modern controls, hopefully. I hope the controls are good. I seriously hope that, Then again, that game was for the Wii at one point, so maybe like motion controls. Oh no, I didn't even think about that. Oh, please, let it just be like classic controls. I have the Pro controller for the Nintendo Wii U, excuse me, so hopefully I can use that with it. I guess we'll see. So this coming week will be, you know, finishing up the stuff that I've been doing. Lots of reviews. Street Fighter. And the premiere of Zelda. All the next week, okay? I'll be honest with everyone. I'm having a lot of fun this week. I'm having a lot of fun playing everything. I love new release weeks. I love it when there's a bunch of new games and I can play a wide variety of stuff. But it is disappointing when it doesn't really catch on with the viewership, and quite honestly, that's kind of the deal this week. Seems like everyone tuned in on Tuesday to see the new stuff, and most people were not impressed. That most people saw, you know, one or two videos, or jumped on the first stream and said, this ain't too impressive, you know, Far Cry Primal is the same as the other Far Cries, and Plants vs. Zombies is just a third-person shooter. They're still a ton of fun. Like, I'm having a lot of fun playing them. But I don't think that, you know, these are anything that's going to be to write home about. You know what I mean? Ultimately, will we all remember Far Cry Primal at the end of the year? That's actually a good test for games, right? Will you remember this game at the end of the year? When everyone's thinking Game of the Year awards and best games of the year, most notable games of the year for whatever reason, will people think of these games? I don't know. I'm not saying that they're bad. I'm just saying maybe they're fun games to play, but maybe aren't necessarily riveting playthroughs and aren't anything that are groundbreaking, that's for sure. I mean, both Far Cry Primal and Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2 are pretty much just sequels of what's already been successful in the past, and they don't veer too much from that formula. So, I guess that's a fair point, huh? I guess we'll find out. But I'm having a lot of fun this week. You know, for me, it's like, yes, I get to play 2 new awesome games every day. I'm doing this. I'm having fun. It's just a little disappointing that not everyone, you know, wants to jump on and join me with it. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. As long as I'm putting out something, as long as there are people watching, that is what keeps the world moving. That is what keeps my business going forward, right? And there will be big stuff. Don't get me wrong, there will be big stuff coming up that I know people will enjoy. Hitman, the new Hitman game, and UFC. MLB, I haven't played in a couple years. I'll be playing that shortly. There will be Patreon stuff coming up shortly, which we'll talk about in just a moment. And then, you know, April's crazy. April's going to be nuts. Quantum Break, a game people have been waiting for years. The new Homefront. That I'm excited for. Of course, Dark Souls 3. I mean, of course, that's going to be huge. Everyone's going to want to see me play that. Star Fox Zero and Uncharted 4. What a crazy-ass month April is going to be. And then even the month of May now is starting to stack up to look pretty good with games like Doom and Mirror's Edge Catalyst. So we've got some pretty crazy fun months coming up with big, high-profile releases that we've all been waiting for quite some time. So even though things are a little slow right now, I'm certainly not I'm not too worried. I'm just disappointed that not more people have jumped on to check out the new stuff this week. So, since I did mention Patreon, let's very briefly mention it. Patreon here. 2 quick things. This is the last hurrah for those who pledged in January to my Patreon at patreon.com/DarksidePhil. To nominate games for the Patron's Choice playthrough. As of this weekend, I'm closing off the nominations, and I'm creating the poll by which patrons may vote. Okay? In addition, there's only 3 days left? How many days are in the... This is leap year, right? So there's 3.5 days left to pledge to my Patreon for this month. By pledging to my Patreon, number one, you obviously allow me to continue to do this full-time as a job and cover all these new games and not necessarily worry so much about the viewership and stuff like that. It's not so bad that, oh no, I'm not getting a lot of viewership on this game. Well, I gotta drop it immediately and do something that's super viral and popular because, you know, gotta keep the business running. No, I'm certainly not in that situation right now. And that's a good thing. That's a very good thing. So, Patreon allows me to have that flexibility. It does. Number two, it allows you to get personalized perks such as text or verbal thank yous for your support. Also, it allows you to get your questions answered on Ask the King if you get that perk level, or even get a private Q&A video made, which is pretty sweet. So, not only are you helping me out, you get something out of it for yourself as well. And then, of course, the fact that there is a monthly goal, and the monthly goal for February, which you have 3.5 days left to contribute to, is the return of the platforming marathon. I did many of these last year. People loved them, including Crash Bandicoot 1, 2, and I got through half of Conker's Bad Fur Day HD. If we hit the funding goal level for this month in the next 3 days, I'll be doing it again, and patrons will be voting on if they want to see the conclusion of Conker, or they want to see me play Crash Bandicoot 3, which a lot of people were a little disappointed that I didn't play that in December the last time I did one of these. Lost the voting. And then, excuse me. And then, also, Banjo-Kazooie HD. Those are your 3 options for that poll, okay? So, hey, hopefully we hit the funding goal. I'll be honest with everyone, we haven't hit it yet. We're off I can tell you right now, it's going to be at least a couple $100 because typically what happens is at the very end. So let's say the next day or two, as people realize, oh, the month is over, and, you know, last month I made a big pledge to Phil, but I'm certainly not going to do that every month. They'll lower their pledge. So I guarantee you that even now we haven't hit the funding goal. It's going to drop even more in the next few days. So if you have considered pledging before, if you have not pledged yet, this could be a good opportunity. This puts the power in the hands of the patrons and allows you to control content that I'm putting out. You know, what game in this platforming marathon do you want to see me play? So, check it out, patreon.com/DarksidePhil, and certainly thank you to those of you who already are existing patrons. You guys are awesome, and you allow me, again, to do this in the full time, because without Patreon, I would not be doing this full time at all. Last but not least, quick gratuitous plug for my girlfriend Leanna's business, The Black Currant, where she sells handmade soaps and wax tart melts. Etsy.com/shop/The Black Currant is where you can find that shop at. And her 1-year anniversary is coming up this weekend. She's got a special event planned, so I strongly recommend you take a look at the website ahead of time. Hint, 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 hint. Okay? You know, in the year that she's been open, almost a full year now, she's had over 150 sales and shipped hundreds of items all around the world. She actually ships internationally to a lot of places. So check it out, Etsy.com/shop/The Black Currant. I'll be talking more about that this weekend. Okay? That is it for the pre-stream. Again, I will say before we begin with gameplay, I apologize if you're having issues with buffering on the stream. This is a YouTube side issue. It has nothing to do with myself or my internet or anything like that. Sadly, I can't control it. It's YouTube that's screwed up. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it gets cleared up. It's not an ongoing issue. And hopefully you can enjoy the stream. But if you are having issues watching, I strongly recommend that you head over to DSPGaming. I mean, you might be watching the stream on DSPGaming right now on YouTube. But if you're not, head over there later today. After the stream, I'll upload all these videos on demand, and you can watch them then. And you won't have that buffering issue, okay? Alright, everyone, I guess that's it. Let's get started with Far Cry Primal, session number 3. We'll see how far we can get today. We're pretty close to story-based missions. So maybe I'll do like a silly mammoth mission to start. And then we'll head right to the story and try to advance it, okay? Sounds good? Alrighty then. Thanks for being here. Let's begin.